Fables of La Fontaine. The Two Men and the Treasure. A man of cash and credit shorn, the devil only in his purse, resolved to hang himself one morn, since death by hunger might be worse. A kind of death which pleases not those curious in their final taste. A rope and nail he quickly got, and fixed them to a wall in haste. The wall was weak and very old, with the man's weight it crumbling fell, when out there came a stream of gold, the treasure that he loved so well. He did not stay to count, but ran, pale penury no more he feared. When in the miser came, poor man, to find his wealth had disappeared. Gold gone, this cord's my only wealth, he cried. Now I have lost all hope. And so straightway he hanged himself. How changed the fortunes of that rope! The miser saves his wealth for those who may be prudent, may be thieves. Into the grave perhaps it goes. Who knows the changes fortune weaves? For Lady Fortune mocks outright at human nature's dying pangs, and if by you or me made tight, the rope she laughs that someone hangs. Well, there you have it. What is this all about? First guy, he is shorn, being shaved. All of his cash has been taken from him. So he is afraid he's going to starve to death. So he decides that hanging himself is a better option than dying of starvation. So he takes a nail, hammers it into the wall, takes a rope, puts it around his neck, puts the other end on the nail, and slumps down, ready to meet his maker, so to speak. But the wall can't support his weight. It crumbles down, and lo and behold, a miser has stashed his wealth in the wall to keep it from thieves. So, the guy takes all the money, says, "Thanks be to God, I'm saved, I don't have to worry about starvation," and he runs away. The miser shows up, sees a big hole where his gold was hidden behind the wall, realizes his money is now gone, and comes to the same conclusion as the first guy, that I'd rather not starve to death. So takes the rope from the ground, ties it to something, and that's the end of him, sadly. And the point of the story is that Fortune, personified here as the goddess Fortune, is very fickle and very, changeable, so to speak. Fortune doesn't care which one of them hangs himself. She's happy either way. So, you spend your whole life saving, putting away for the future, scrimp, save, sacrifice, building up some money so you don't have to worry about starvation or problems in your old age. And you try to depend on this. Most of the time, saving, accumulating wealth for your future, for your old age. Everybody should do this. But sometimes, due to factors outside of your control, fortune, you lose everything. Someone steals it, the wall comes down, so to speak, and somebody else takes it and runs off with it. You're cheated out of your money. You make a couple of mistakes that become a debacle. Debacle means the ice breaks out from underneath you and you fall into the freezing water. You lose your fortune. And you don't have time to rebuild a new fortune. You can become very upset by this. I spent a lot of time building up a nest egg for my future, only to have it disappear, and I understand your mind can go to some very dark places. Thankfully, we live in a society that, to some degree, takes care of the elderly who are poor. It's not great, but at least, well, now, knock wood, hopefully in the future, they support the elderly with shelter and enough food to get by. It's far from luxurious, but there is a bit of a safety net there. However, it's pretty terrible when you save and lose your money. But although most of the time this doesn't happen, sometimes it does. And it can take you to a pretty bad place. But you should still plan for your future, save for your future, hope for the best. I lost my fortune, but if I had the chance to do it again, I wouldn't change a thing. I would still plan for my future and hope for the best. I'm older now, and I probably don't have the ability to rebuild a nest egg for my future, which means I'll probably have to work until I'm quite old if my health stays good. And yeah, God willing, I'll get by somehow. It would be wonderful if I was able to rebuild my fortune, but probably not going to happen. Apart from a miracle, winning the lottery or something, but that's not going to happen because, like the old joke, the guy prays to God every day, God, please let me win the lottery, please. Days go by, please, every night, please God, let me win the lottery. Please God, let me win the lottery. Eventually, months, years pass, the guy dies, poor, gets up to heaven. God welcomes him in. He says, God, I prayed faithfully to you my whole life to win the lottery. Why didn't you let me win the lottery? And God says to him, you never bought a ticket. Till next time, goodbye.